Good evening, visitors. Welcome to the Australian War Memorial's last post ceremony. My name is Joanna Butler, and joining us today from the Royal Australian Navy is Chief Petty Officer Michael Davis. We warmly welcome members of the 1st Recruit Training Battalion, 21 Platoon, Kapooka, New South Wales. We welcome the veterans who have served, those that are still serving, and the families that love and support them. The live stream of this ceremony is made possible by the Returned and Services League of Australia and the RSL and Services Clubs Association. We welcome members who are watching the broadcast of this ceremony across Australia. During this evening's ceremony, wreaths will be laid at the base of the Pool of Reflection by visitors to the memorial and students on behalf of St. Peter's College visiting from St. Peter's, South Australia. If you are able, please stand and join in singing the national anthem. Students and those that are able, please be seated. The Australian War Memorial was the vision of Charles Bean, Australia's First World War official historian. Bean landed with the Australian troops on Gallipoli and stayed with them at the front through to the end of the war. The idea of this national memorial and museum came to him at Pozières, France, in the depths of the bloody fighting of 1916. Bean's idea was that this would be a place where families and friends could mourn loved ones buried in faraway places. It would also be a place that could help all Australians understand what these men and women had endured and what they had done for us. Bean's vision, to which we remain true, is best expressed as inscribed in the entrance to the memorial's galleries. Here is their spirit, in the heart of the land they loved, and here we guard the record which they themselves made. Tonight we will read the story behind just one of those on the Roll of Honour, which lists the names of more than 103,000 men and women who have given their lives for us in war and on operations for more than a century. But first we present a lament, Flowers of the Forest. Wreaths or floral tributes will now be laid at the base of the Pool of Reflection.
Today we remember and pay tribute to Private Robert Sanders Langley. Robert Langley was born on the 10th of January 1886 in Horsham, Victoria. He was one of 6 children born to Warwick Langley, a farmer, and his wife Eliza. Robert received his education at Mackenzie Street State School and was working as a farmer when the First World War broke out in 1914. Robert Langley enlisted in the Australian Imperial Force on the 10th of April 1916 with his younger brother Harvey. They were both allotted to the 38th Infantry Battalion with the rank of private and began a short period of training. They embarked together from Melbourne on the 20th of June 1916, sailing on the troop ship Runic. Once in England, they continued training alongside other new recruits. In November 1916, they began their journey to the front, joining their unit in France just as a bitterly cold winter began to set in. For months, they were heavily involved in raiding enemy trenches. In early 1917, German forces began a strategic withdrawal to the fortified Hindenburg Line, pursued by Allied units, who were confronted by well-prepared rearguard defences and booby-trapped towns. On the 28th of May, the Langley brothers were involved in a raid on German trenches at Polsgert. They advanced on enemy lines under cover of the artillery barrage, but many shells fell on the advancing party, and many casualties were sustained by friendly fire. Some of the raiding party managed to enter the enemy's trenches, taking 1 prisoner. But by the end of the raid, the 38th Battalion had sustained 95 casualties. Among the dead was Private Harvey Langley. Following Harvey Langley's death, the 38th Battalion were moved to the Messines sector of the front. Here, Harvey's brother, Private Robert Langley, took part in his first major battle when his unit attacked enemy positions at Messines Ridge in early June. Afterwards, the 38th Battalion spent time rotating in and out of the front lines before being drawn into an attack on Brucendine Ridge on the 4th of October 1917. They soon returned to the front lines to take part in an attack on the strategically significant village of Passchendaele. There had been several days of heavy rain that turned the shell-torn earth into a sea of thick mud. With rain still falling, the battle was pushed forward to the 12th of October. Advancing at dawn, the attack quickly floundered in the horrific conditions of the battlefield. Troops were unable to keep up with the artillery barrage, some men getting caught in the mud, while others simply vanished beneath it. The attack was called off soon after. The 8 weeks of fighting between Ypres and Passchendaele had cost the 5 Australian divisions some 38,000 casualties. Men missing, wounded or killed. Among them was Private Robert Langley, who had been shot through the knee. He was evacuated to England for treatment at the 3rd Southern General Hospital in the city of Oxford. He remained there for several weeks while his condition appeared to improve slowly. Then, in late November, Langley began vomiting and he began to decline. On the 29th of November 1917, he suddenly collapsed and died in hospital. The hospital chaplain wrote to Langley's parents, "I saw him late the night before he died and said a few words to him. I am sure that he had the best of skill and care, so I hope you won't feel any anxiety as if there had been any neglect. He was buried on December the 1st in a cemetery at Botley, a beautiful spot. His body rests there along with those of many other soldiers who, like him, have nobly sacrificed their lives in their great fight for the world's liberty." Today, Langley rests beneath the inscription chosen by his parents. It reads, "Till the day breaks and the shadow flee away." Private Robert Langley was 31 years old. His name is listed on the Roll of Honour on my right among almost 62,000 Australians who died while serving in the First World War. A photograph of his headstone is displayed today by the Pool of Reflection. This is but one of the many stories of service and sacrifice told here at the Australian War Memorial. We now remember Private Robert Sanders Langley, who gave his life for us, our freedoms, and in the hope of a better world.
Please stand for the reading of the ode and the sounding of the last post.
They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them. Lest we forget.
We leave you this evening with the words of the memorial's founder, Charles Bean. Many a man lying out there at Poziere, or in the low scrub at Gallipoli, with his poor tired senses barely working through the fever of his brain, has thought in his last moments, well, it's over, but in Australia, they will be proud of this. Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, that concludes the last post ceremony. On behalf of the director, staff and volunteers, thank you for visiting the Australian War Memorial today. We wish you all a very pleasant evening.